Hi, my name is Nikki, and in late 2022, I ditched my dying sneaker resale business and went all in on Amazon FBA. Since I did that, after 3 months, I was able to start generating $10,000 in profit every single month through till today. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI to complete the 5 necessary steps that every single Amazon seller has to go through to start and scale a profitable Amazon operation. Miss this and you risk wasting time on strategies that don't work, listening to people that don't do the business they're actually trying to teach, while others cash in using the right blueprint. Now, before I dive into the meat of the content, I just want to mention, this can't just be another video that you watch, let it fester, and then let any sort of emotional drive that you had to start this business model go away, because that will happen. I'm sure you've watched content and said, oh, I'm going to do that. That sounds like such a great opportunity. And then there's nothing that actually came of that. So I want this to just be the moment that you commit to starting this if you see it's the right opportunity, if you feel that it's right for you, to actually dive in and get started, as opposed to just consuming content for entertainment purposes. So with that said, the first thing that you're going to have to do is create a business entity. And so what is that? Most people think of it as just an LLC. So you're going to want to create your LLC. How are we going to leverage AI to do this? Everyone has access to ChatGPT. If you don't pay for the $20 per month subscription, odds are you get some free tokens that you go and use and ask questions. So what you can do is just say, how do I create an LLC? One common misconception with creating LLCs is that you need to create it in the state that you are living in. You don't necessarily have to do that. For a variety of reasons, you might choose to do another state, but these are all questions that you can leverage AI to answer. All the information is out there somewhere, hidden in little pockets of the internet, and it's more about knowing what question to ask. Throughout this video, I'm just going to show you how to approach asking questions, how to ask the right question, and then maybe you can take away from this video what questions you should be asking on top of what I ask. So first question we're going to ask: how do you create an LLC? So now ChatGPT is going to spit out this big answer. Again, I mentioned picking your state. A lot of people do their home state, but it's not completely necessary. It tells you right here. Some go with Delaware, Wyoming, or Nevada. I've personally gone with Delaware or Wyoming for a couple different entities. And then you name it, you choose a registered agent, you file the articles of organization, create an operating agreement, get an EIN. It seems very complicated. You can go to the bottom and just say, please help me with step 1. Please help me with step 2. Please provide links for me to do each of these different things that actually need to be handled. And so I just want to level set that this will probably take you roughly an hour or 2. All of these things seem very foreign. You pick this apart one by one, odds are this takes you about an hour. So why is it important that you actually have an LLC? Well, first off, it segregates personal and business. So for accounting purposes, it's typically a best practice to have a business account and a personal account. The other thing it does is it makes you look more professional. So if you go to a trade show, for example, or if you're going to want to work with a wholesale supplier at some point in the future, you can go to them and you already have this professionalized business, as opposed to just emailing them with a Gmail account. And then lastly, it opens you up to business financing. And so a lot of the money that I use to run my profitable Amazon business is not my personal money. I'm leveraging institutional capital. That's a big word for saying that I use credit cards to finance a lot of the purchases that I'm making. And so I don't necessarily need to have $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 in cash on my bank account at any one time. I can go to Chase and say, hey, Chase, I'd like to put this money on your credit card. They say, okay, cool, Nikki. We'll give you that money because you've paid us back in the past. Oh, by the way, we're also going to give you credit card rewards just because we get paid whenever you make a payment using our card. They get a payment processing fee. And so, yeah, we'll throw you back 2% of your purchase price. No questions asked, pure profit. So it just opens you up to these sorts of things. If you don't have any immediate capital, you can leverage business credit. You could also leverage personal credit. It's not necessarily recommended. At least I don't personally recommend doing that as much. But if you're in that sort of situation, then you totally can. Now, step number 2 is to create your Amazon seller account. And so it seems daunting, but this is just your gateway into selling on Amazon. It's much the same as creating an eBay seller account. Okay, if I create this Amazon seller account, am I going to have to pay a bunch of money? What's going to happen? I just created this LLC. That was kind of weird and funky. What you can do is you can talk to ChatGPT. Again, you just say, hey, I want to create an Amazon seller account. Which plan should I use? I'll give you my thoughts right here. There's an individual plan and a professional plan. With the individual plan, every time you sell a single item, you pay $1. With the professional plan, you get charged $40 per month on sort of a subscription model. So in the same way that you pay for Spotify every single month, you would pay Amazon $40 every single month for the privilege of selling on their platform. So if you're a beginner, let's break it down. If you want to choose the individual plan, you're basically saying, I don't think I'm going to sell 40 items in a single month. And so maybe you sell 30 items and you're charged $30 because you get charged $1 every single item that you sell. But when you scale, let's say you sell 100 items in a single month, then in that case, it's much more advantageous to you to be paying for the professional plan where you get charged a flat $40 as opposed to $1 for every single item. In this case, you would be paying $100. That's how you delineate between which you should choose. Then, for an example of timeline, it's probably going to take a couple weeks. You're going to need to jump on a video call with Amazon, prove who you are, show your ID, all these sorts of things, just so they know it's actually you selling and not someone impersonating you. Some of the things that you're going to need when you jump on that onboarding call are a business email address or Amazon customer account, internationally chargeable credit card, government ID, tax information, phone number, and a bank account where Amazon can send you the payouts from the sales that you make. Business email address, I believe it could just be a Gmail if you really wanted it to, but that's why I suggest getting an LLC. You can create a business email with the name of your LLC. To do that, you can use a very simple site like GoDaddy or Namecheap. I can ask ChatGPT, how do I create a business email? Then it'll help you out and just say, okay, it's actually much easier than people think. You just go, you buy a domain, typically pretty cheap, something like $10 to $12 per year. You pick a hosting service and you can run it through there very, very simply. Now, by the way, if you're feeling confused or stuck by any of this, I do have a completely free course that you can go and check out. And within this group, I hang out in there all the time. If you drop a question in the general chat, I will answer you. And this just kind of gives you a step-by-step access to content that is not available on this video, or I don't have time to introduce you to on this video. And so if you want help setting up your account, figuring out what products to buy, and understand which software tools you should be accessing and leveraging to run your business, go check out that WAP link in the description down below. Again, completely free, just gonna need your email to get your account set up. And I also mentioned in this doc here that you should probably be ready and able to invest roughly $2,500 into actually purchasing products. The reason for that is that Amazon is an inventory-based business. You have to purchase the products that you're going to sell before you sell them. And so if you have no money to do that, odds are you're going to want to start hustling and figure out a way to get some startup capital before diving head on into this inventory-based, high capital intensity business. So now that your account is set up, we're going to want to focus on ungating. And so ungating seems like this daunting thing. People get deterred from even starting selling on Amazon because they have to get ungated to sell products. All ungating is Amazon's way of approving you to sell products on their platform after you have an Amazon seller account. Submit to us documentation that shows that you're purchasing these products from a legitimate source. This could be a large retailer. It could be a wholesaler. It could be from the brand directly. You just have to prove to Amazon that, okay, you're not selling counterfeit goods on their site. You're not purchasing products, knockoff products from China, for example, and then just trying to defraud the American consumer through Amazon's platform. Those are all big no-goes. And so the ungating process is simply a way of authenticating that you are selling goods on the Amazon platform that are completely legitimate. So with that said, how do you actually get ungated? I have at the bottom here just a breakdown of the different requirements that you are going to have to submit to Amazon. So it's going to have to be dated within 6 months of the current date. So we're in mid-September right now. If I was to submit a invoice from 1 month ago, that would be perfect. If I was to submit an invoice from 2024, that would not qualify for Amazon's requirements. Next, it has to include your name, address, and match the information that's on your selling account. Include the name and address of the manufacturer or distributor. Show the combined purchase of some number of units. In this screenshot, it shows 10. But more recently, they've gone higher and higher in their requirements, which is kind of trying to push people away from sending in lower unit counts for different products that you are selling on Amazon. And that's everything. They might contact the supplier that you're submitting the documentation for just to verify that it's a completely legitimate purchase that you made through them, and then you're all good to go. You should get an approval and you'll be okay to sell that brand on Amazon. Some popular categories for online arbitrage sellers are beauty and personal care and shoes and clothing. They typically have a lot of discounted sales and opportunities, but again, that just comes with competition, undercutting, and sometimes a lack of sustainability in the products that you're actually purchasing. But with that said, here are some popular ungating sites that you can look at: Foot Locker, Academy, Kohl's, EE Distribution, and Fair. And so just on the ungating topic, I have a few actual documents that I've used to get ungated in the past. So I've purchased a product from Office Depot, and as you can see here, this is just the order detail page. If I scroll down, I've redacted some of the information so you can't see everything of my personal details and what I was purchasing. This is what I submitted. You can see that it has the order details, it shows the supplier information, it has all of my information, it has the purchase price, any discounts that I might have received, as well as the product that I purchased. Similarly here, I have a Target invoice. And so if you make any purchase on Target, you can go into your account, you can pull this document out, and you can just see I purchased 10 units of a Duracell product. You see my payment information here. Here are the order details. You can see that FedEx delivered the product. So you just pull all the information off of the different retail sites that you might have purchased from, submit that information to Amazon, and you should be good to go for getting ungated. Now, steps 4 and 5 are probably the most important of actually finding the products that you're wanting to sell on Amazon, and that is going to be getting a Keepa subscription and an Identify subscription. And so I'll give you a quick breakdown on what both of these tools actually do, but they both give you insight into the different data that you need to make purchasing decisions for any product that you might want to sell. And so if we jump back over to Amazon, this is a subsection of Keepa. This is a service where Keepa will actually help you find products that are steeply discounted on Amazon. The crazy thing is, you could actually, in some cases, purchase products from Amazon and then flip them right back on Amazon for a profit. That sourcing model is called A2A, or Amazon to Amazon, and it's very simply purchasing products from Amazon and then selling them right back on Amazon for a profit. Why is that an opportunity? Because a lot of the time, Amazon just wants to move units. They have this massive, massive operation, and if they steeply discount something just to get it out of their warehouse, that creates opportunity for you, the arbitrage seller. So looking at the Amazon webpage, you can see here, this is just a pop-up sort of listing preview that Identify shows you. And so you can see the monthly sales, the buy box price, the different offers that might be on these listings. But then if we click into one of the actual listings, we can see here what Identify does and what Keepa does. And so you can filter here and you can see different data over time. So on this specific listing, Amazon is the only seller. If I scroll down on Identify and I actually jump to the buy box distribution, we can see that Amazon has 100% of the buy box. And so in this case, this is not a product that we'd want to sell, even if we could buy it profitably. So right now, the buy box price is $25. That's the price that sales are being made at. As you can see here, $25. Even if we could get this product for $10, Amazon takes 100% of the sales. And you can actually see here in the eligibility, we're hard gated. That means we cannot get ungated. Even if we apply, even if we have documentation that's all in order, it won't happen. And so avoid products that you're restricted from selling. If it says apply in the big yellow box, that means you can apply to get ungated. But this is what Keepa does. It shows you the buy box price. It shows you the volume, how many units are actually selling per month. And so as you can see over time, this yellow line, we had 10,000 units selling per month at a given time. That is an insane amount of volume. If Amazon, for example, can buy this product for $10 and they can sell it for $25, if they had to pay themselves fees, they'd be making nearly $7 every single time that they sold a unit. And so what's 7 times 10,000? That is $70,000 in profit from this one single product, of which Amazon has billions of products listed across their site. Now, to give a better example of what Keepa can do, specifically for the A2A angle, we have this product here, this Berkeley Trilene big game fishing line. And so as you can see, eligibility on Identify, we can apply. So we are eligible to be ungated if we submit the proper documentation. This price is discounted 65% from the typical price. If we look down at Keepa, we can see over time that the price is typically $39.36. Right now, it's severely discounted at sort of a clearance price of $15.63. So if we plug in $39.36 as our selling price, why do I think this is only a temporary price reduction? First off, because of how drastic it is. It really looks like a clearance sale, being down 65%. And then as you can see initially, it went down to $15.63 and it jumped right back up to $44.99, which is even higher than what it was at, for the most part, at that $39.36 level. So what you could do as the arbitrage seller, come in, buy units of this. Let's just say you buy 10 units and this sells 50 times per month. You'd probably sell out within a month, even if there are other sellers selling this product and taking buy box share. And you'd make $100 from this one single product within a month. If you used a credit card to finance that purchase, you wouldn't even have to pay back the credit card until you had already sold the products and you already had the cash back in your account. So I hope this goes to illustrate how the A2A business model, first finding the product on Keepa. As you could see, I actually found this product right here to use for this example live for you. You can see that the deal was found 11 hours ago, how powerful these tools are. You see the profitability with Identify. You can see whether or not you need to get ungated. You see the monthly volume here. You see the BSR, which is the best sellers rank. And then you can see what the price is at historically using Keepa. Now, how could you potentially bring AI into your sourcing? Well, we're about to head into Q4. Q4 is the last 3 months of the year, October, November, December. That's typically when things tend to get a little bit crazy for e-commerce in general and a lot of businesses. The reason for that is that during Christmas time, there's a lot of gift giving. There's a lot of purchases being made. People are happy. It's the holidays. And so consumer spending really ticks up significantly. And because of that, if you have a lot of inventory in Amazon's warehouses, you can take advantage of that. If we were to just ask AI something along the lines of, what products should I have in stock as an Amazon arbitrage seller to take advantage of the huge holiday demand that will be there around Christmas time. And so then ChatGPT will spit out just a whole host of different product ideas that you could potentially target. So we're looking at things like gift wrapping sets, advent calendars, Lego sets, board games, Pokemon cards, all these hot new toy releases. So it just gives you all these great ideas, and it even breaks it down even further, going by category: consumer electronics, health and beauty products, apparel, food and seasonal grocery products. So this is how you can use AI tools to do all of the things that I used to do manually, going through and just looking and using my brain, as opposed to letting AI sort of help me inform what I should be focusing on. So while it's great to understand what you should be looking for and let AI inform that, what's even better to do, at least in my opinion, is to let the data do the work for me and let the software tools do the work for me, even more so than AI can. Because AI, it's more conceptual. These would be good products to buy. But what I can do is just how I showed you how we found this product, this fishing line product. We found it on Keep a Deals. Right here is just sitting there. I can use these software tools, Keepa and Identify, to help me find the products that I should actually be selling right now, as opposed to just getting ideas of what potentially might do well. So now let's just tie steps 3, 4, and 5 together. You go to Keep a Deals, you have this filter where you see all these products that might potentially be good purchases. You analyze one in the same way that we just did for the fishing line, and then you need to get ungated for the product. You see over here, Identify says you need to apply. What do you do from there? You Google the product. You just click this button and it searches up the product for you, and it shows you all of the different retailers that have this product in stock. Then you're going to have to purchase the product from one of these suppliers to be able to get documents that would show that you are buying from a legitimate source, not purchasing from China, not selling knockoffs, not trying to scam Amazon's customer base. What jumps out to me here is that the brand actually has this product. And sure, you might have to purchase the product at a little bit higher of a price than you can get access to it in other places. That's sort of your cost to play, if you will. And so for this specific product, something that you could implement is just reach out to the brand, open a customer support ticket down at the bottom of their site, figure out a way to contact them right here, contact us, and then just say, hey, can you please price match Amazon's price? They currently have a sale for, I believe it was $16. I would like to buy 10 units of this at $16. Can you please help me out with that? My guess is that for a brand like this, they'd be able to give you a good invoice after you make that purchase. You would scan that invoice together along with the delivery confirmation that you eventually get sent, submit that documentation over to Amazon, and then as you sell through the product, every single sale, you're making $11 in profit. So guys, this has been the 5 steps that you need to complete if you want to be a successful Amazon seller, and how you can use AI to make those tasks a whole lot easier. If you want to get access to the PDF that I go over in this video, again, it's right here in the free group for you, if I scroll down, along with all of the other information that is important for making purchasing decisions and setting up your business for success. I hope to see you there. Again, if you'd like one-on-one coaching, I have that available down below. You can book a call directly with me. In that program, I work with you on 2-on-1. I've hired a coach to assist you. You'll get thrown into a group chat. I only want to work with people that I know that I can help, and so I'm not going to pressure you into working with us. If you just want access to the free information, you can go and get that at the links down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this valuable at all, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and then just drop a comment. It helps the algo, and it also helps me understand what I need to be filming and what I need to be doing in order to help you best run your Amazon business. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.